All right. Hey guys, it's me, SD Vaughn here with another video. We're going to be talking about Dr. Stone once again, focusing more on the Medusa, because I got to talk more about that, because last time we focused on it, on, how many times the Medusa have been used, how many times, how many times, how many times the Medusa has been used. Let me redo it. Hey guys, it's me, SD Vaughn here with another video. We're going to be discussing Dr. Stone and the Medusa once here again. So I really wanted to talk about this all over again after we talked about how many, the many times that the Medusa has been used and the healing properties of the Medusa. And I kind of want to dwell more into the healing properties of the Medusa a little bit further, before we go into anything else concerning Dr. Stone. And it really occurred to me when thinking about it, which is, I was going to make this a part of the last video, but I wanted to make its own separate thing. Just the fact because the immortality thing is just like, I don't know if it'll be explored more in the rest of the story, but it's something really big, and we're in the final arc of Dr. Stone, so I'm like, we got to talk about this. Why not? And it really occurred to me that that Senku and them are actually keeping a secret from the rest of the crew about this whole immortality thing. Only Zeno, Senku, Chrome, Tsukasa, and Eavesdropping Gin actually know about the whole immortality part about the Medusa. And I just like that. Is that ever going to get brought up? Are they ever going to tell the rest of the crew? These guys trust them, and it's a secret that the crew will just feel like you didn't trust us enough with. So after the South America arc, it's just been them globetrotting the Earth, and then they've been reviving people, building the rocket to get the Y-Man. Sorry, spoilers, guys. I'm sorry about this. We have spoilers. If you haven't been reading the manga or anything like that, if you end up coming to my video. But yeah, they're building the rocket to come to Y-Man and to go to Y-Man, and it just feels like it's the final arc. What else more are they going to do besides, having issues building the rocket, and that's going to take some time. It's already been stated, like, it's been, a couple years since the South America arc and them working on the rocket. I think, chapter 216 or 215, where Senku mentions Zeno. It's been like 3 years that Zeno got the whatever they were building, I think it was the satellite working in time, or was it the rocket? I can't remember. I have to look back at it. I'll have that out here on the video screen if I can't remember what it was. But he's saying it's been 3 years time, but during the South America arc, they all got petrified in the second worldwide petrification by Y-Man, with the broadcast going through Joel's watch during that arc when he stuck his hand in that trunk that Brody slammed his hand on. And everyone got petrified. Suika was only petrified for 2 years because the revival fluid, she was standing below like a little device Senku made for her because they banked on her reviving everyone else. Once everyone got petrified, it was on top of a little glass, so that when it eventually broke, it would hit Suika, and she would get depetrified so that she could revive everyone else. And then she was working on reviving everyone else, and that took 5 years. So we know it's been many, many years since that arc. So no mention, and then, after they get revived, they mention the immortality, and it's never mentioned or discussed again. And that was like chapters 198. If you're reading the Viz manga, that's when that happened. So I don't know when that would have happened. When they're going to bring this up again about the Medusa giving them immortality, especially if they lose this Medusa, then it doesn't really, that plot point just doesn't really matter. They only got the one Medusa, and it's the only one they got, the only one they can use. Especially like in the latest chapter, they had to like lock it up just in case, because we don't know, what may happen to this Medusa. They got to use it because their plan was they need to go to the moon, and they're going to use it after they deal with Flyman, turn themselves into stone, and wait until civilization has grown further enough down the line that a rocket can be made to go up there to retrieve them. So anything that happens to this Medusa in between that time, yeah. But yeah, let's get back onto the immortality. So it's kind of like a pseudo immortality, I would like to call it, because you don't age when you're petrified, but you'll age after you depetrify, as with Suika's case when she got depetrified and spent those 5 years by herself trying to revive everyone else after the South America arc. So that was a total of 7 years. 2 years that she was petrified and the 5 years that she spent trying to revive everyone else during the South America arc. So I that's why I call it super immortality. They call it immortality just due to the fact that because Hyuga came back after a near death, that Tsukasa confirmed he died during the South America arc when Stanley and their crew were doing their raid to get Zeno back, and when Kohaku, Hyuga, and Tsukasa wanted to run up against Stanley and his crew, got shot up. And Tsukasa, as he's laying there, does confirm that Hyuga had died, but because of petrification, I believe what would have happened like a couple minutes after, because it's like a couple chapters after that, and even Senku got shot in that arc. And then chapter 198, Hyuga's all better. He doesn't even realize that he had died. He's all better as if it never happened, because like we said earlier in the last video, the petrification device has healing properties. So it's like, when they get petrified and depetrified, and you don't naturally need to be petrified for that long, as what Tsukasa did during after the Treasure Island arc. They petrified him, and then revived him with the revival fluid, and he was all better. He was healed, as if his injuries from Hyuga during the Stone Wars arc never happened. So it's just like, that's why I call it pseudo immortality, because as I was saying when they were discussing with Hyuga, is that it can stop, if you grow super old, all you can do is just petrify them so they don't get to that dying point. But I think they're trying to infer that if you're about to die when you're of old age, I guess you could just petrify them, revive them, and I think they'll be fine. So I guess that's what they're calling as immortality. But I still call it pseudo-immortality because they'll still age. It's that kind of immortality. You have all these kind of immortalities, like the immortality from Zamasu from Dragon Ball Super. He's immortal. He doesn't, get phased, any injuries or anything like that. Then you have the kind of immortality where you don't age, you live forever, blah, blah, blah. And this kind of immortality, I guess, stops death. I guess is what they're meaning. I still call it super immortality because it's kind of still like a stopgap. People will probably still die, and I mean, there's also another reason to this immortality why it won't work, and that's just like, in case the statues break, become weathered, like they forget somebody that they put to stone, and they want to revive them later. Something happens to it to where they can't be revived. So there's many things to this immortality that's just not going to work out. And I'll go on later on this in the video, but it's it's still pseudo immortality here to me. But I guess that's what Senku's meaning by, because they do say, well, Tsukasa's talking about, Chroma's saying, well, Kaseki never has to die now. He'll be fine. He'll never have to die. But Tsukasa would then infer and then state that, that's going to be a problem, because that's going to create overpopulation. Think about all these old people who, they even showed an image of it. Think about all these old people, just being turned to stone because we don't want them to die. But, the natural process of life and death is necessary, because if we have overpopulation, there's not enough food to go around and everything and all that. Which is one of their, issues they faced when thinking about reviving everyone in the earlier stages of the story, because they had to create harvests and more food and all that. Supply meet demand. You can't revive all these people, and there's not enough food to go around, and you still got to get society up and running and all this other stuff going on. But, such is. But, like Tsukasa was saying, it's going to create overpopulation. And that's why I'm still calling it pseudo immortality, because once you depetrify them, you never know. Maybe one day they fall asleep and they die. Or something happens, you're not really going to, you can't always prevent them from dying. the petrification, yes, it'll keep them from aging, and it couldn't heal any, like, Kaseki's arthritis and all that. Although it didn't heal Suika's eyesight. Although when she gets older, due to spending all those years trying to make the revival fluid to revive everyone else, she still kind of wears the watermelon around her, but she doesn't really wear it like to wear its glasses. I guess it healed. I don't know. I'm not sure. Someone's gonna have to let me know. I'm gonna have to look through the chapters again. But she's not really wearing glasses or anything, so I guess she's fine. She's still kind of wearing the watermelon thing around her neck and all that. So I guess she's looking through the glasses that way. But because I'm like, she's been petrified before, but still had to wear the watermelon thing, and you could tell it still has the glasses on them. So I guess maybe it healed her or not. I know some people argue that it can only heal certain conditions. Because it would just revert your cells back to the original state they were. And I guess because Kaseki was never born with arthritis, he just got that later on down the line. It's reverting his cells back to an original state before he ever had arthritis. So with Suika, it's not doing that. So yeah, but so it's like, it has the healing abilities and it has all that, but like I said, if the statues get broken, if they get weathered or anything like that, anything could happen to these statues. Like,
so like we saw specifically when Ukyo spotted in chapter 73 of volume 9, where Yuzuriha is gathering broken pieces of stone people that Tsukasa broke to eventually revive them. This gets him thinking that humanity can be revived and teams up with Senku.
Chapters 116 and 128 of volumes 14 and 15 of the manga, respectively. Rusui, during the Treasure Island arc, everyone on that boat that got petrified by Kirasame except for Senku, Kohaku, Genro, Suika, and Gen. Wow. Yo, Rusui, Kinro, Taiju, Kaseki, and everyone else part of the Kindred Science crew, Magma, and, etc., all got turned to stone on that boat. And then sometime later down the arc, where they have Kohaku dress up all pretty and nice to infiltrate the Treasure Island, get inside the village, all that other stuff, especially to find those materials that were told in the 100 tales that Rory would tell them. That was the reason why they go to Treasure Island. To find those materials that Senku's father had left for him, that he spent years gathering for Senku, that he knew he'll need. And during that, they have to smash Rusui's statue, broken apart and everything else. She, finds a way to send it over to Senku. Senku sees this as an experiment to see about, everyone, any broken pieces being put back together and revived. They were sure of no doubt being able to revive Ryusui back together, and they do. They do revive him. All his broken pieces put back together, and he's revived. However, in chapters 128, when Taiju and crew, Taiju, Riza, Soyuz, all go up to the chief of Treasure Island to go find him once they learn that he was turned to stone, so that they can reveal to the villagers of what happened to their chief, and that everything that Ibarra was stating that was going on with the chief and all these orders about petrifying everybody was just a lie. So they go there, they find him, they see the broken pieces. At first, Soyuz believes that he can't be revived, but then Yuzuriha is like, no, there's hope. We can revive him. But then she looks more at the pieces and is just like, no, this is all too weathered. It's all too broken. It's we can't put them back together. So that makes me think of some of all the other people that we saw across the story, especially when they go to America, and they see the bridge destroyed, some broken statues. I think we also kind of see that too when Taiju's walking around at the beginning of the story, when he's first, before he finds Senku, he finds some broken statues and all that. So I'm like, most of these statues have probably been broken for thousands of years now. How weathered and broken are they? They're not going to be able to revive everybody. But yeah, so just like the immortality, I know they make it seem like a big deal. And it is a big deal because if humanity finds out about it, and then they're like, these kids had this thing that turned us all to stone, and it can give us immortality, but not in the way you think. And then they also want to weaponize it for war and whatnot. Who knows what may happen. But yeah, so it's kind of like that. And I think that's why I wanted to talk about the immortality, because it's something I was like, okay, this is something I was not thinking about. Once I thought about the fact that the king can't be revived, and I'm just like, that's going to be terrible. Like, you have this immortality, but with a double-edged sword, because it has another edged sword. Humanity can't learn about their immortality. It will cause overpopulation. It may cause people to fight. It may cause people to want to, fight over the Medusa. And even then, the Medusa runs on a battery, the diamond. So, who knows how many uses it can go through before, depleting the diamond battery and having to replace it with a new one. And they only got the one Medusa, as the other Medusas are, useless now. Just that giant mound that they found, they can't use. This one's still recently new, so they can still use this Medusa. But everything else, they can't use. So anything that happens to this Medusa, it's done for. And something already has happened with the Medusa in the current chapters, which this is why I wanted to talk about the Medusa, its immortality, its healing, and its uses, because it's such a big mystery. And in the latest chapters, it just activates on its own. We don't know if someone used it months before to set an activation time and date and all that, or if Y-Man's still controlling it. So this is why I wanted to talk about the Medusa. There's so many mysteries and so many things to talk about with the Medusa. I'm not sure if all the answers will get answered throughout the rest of the story. I don't know how many chapters are left in the manga. It does look like we're in the final arc. Because they're already getting ready to go to Y-Man, but we know that there's still a lot of things to prepare for that. And even then, to prepare once they meet Y-Man, and I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of discussion about why he petrified everyone, how he made the Medusa, and all that works. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see where that goes from there. Now, I think I discussed everything I wanted to talk about with the Medusa, because really in this video I just want to discuss those prior things, that I think that's pseudo immortality, and that while it's kind of cool that they have it, it's also a bad thing if they think about it, if they actually act on it and have the Medusa, and they forget somebody, or they become broken, or something happens to them and they can't be revived. That person is kind of stuck in stone form, I guess, theoretically dead. I don't know. Like, Tsukasa punched somebody in the first volume and broke a statue, and Senku's like, you just killed somebody. So I don't know. They're petrified, but they can't be revived. But I don't know. But let me know what you guys think about the Medusa. Let me know what you guys think, if it might have any other more hidden uses. Do you think Senku and crew would tell them about the immortality? How's that going to go about with their trust and knowing that they kept a secret like that from them? Their group, that's their group. They always believe in Senku. They'll probably be like, we trust him. He probably had a reason for this. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have your own theories about the Medusa? Do you think more information about it be played out more in the, well, of course it will be played out more in the story, but how much information do you think will be more in the story? Is there more that we don't already know? It's healing, it's healing abilities, petrification, and all that other stuff. I guess we'll find out. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment below, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.